Hello, my name is Jan. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a secure app with multiple users by using Visual Basics and Visual Studio 2022. Let's click on Create a new project. Let's select Visual Basics and let's type here the .NET framework. Let's select Windows Phone App.NET Framework. Let's click Next. I'm going to name this app My Secure App. I'm going to put multi-users. And then let's select Create. So the next thing we need to do is, if you cannot see your layout the way it shows on my layout, let's go to Window and then select Reset Windows Layout. Let's click Yes. Let's go to View. Let's go to Toolbox and let's pin the toolbox to the left hand side. Let's right click here and then select Properties. So I have the properties here and I've got the Solution Explorer. So I've got Form 1 here, and now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to click on the project and I'm going to add a new Windows form. And I'm going to call this Form 2. That's okay. So I've got Form 1, I've got Form 2. Now the Form 1 is the default form that the application will run first. So what I need to do here is add the button, add 2 labels, and add 2 text boxes. The first label will have a text value of please add your username, and the next label will have please add your password. So the please add your password label, I'm just going to call this LBL password. And the please add your username, I'm just going to give the name of LBL username. Now for the text field, the text box, I'm going to change the text value, the name of the text box 1 to txt username. And I'm just going to change the text box name, the text box 2 name, to txt password. I'm going to select my button. I'm going to change the name to btnLogin. I'm going to change the text value, instead of button 1 to login. Let's make this form a bit smaller. Alright. The next thing I need to do is go to the form 2 here, and I'm going to put a label here which will show the email address of the user. So I'm just going to leave the label 1 here. I'm just going to call this label LBL user email. I'm just going to put here LBL email. LBL email. And I'm just going to, let's put here the word email for the text. It dynamically will change to the user's email address anyway. So it's going to be so fast people won't be able to see it. Okay. And then let's put another label here, right in the middle here. And I'm just going to put name. And I'm just going to put here the name of the name. I'm going to put LBL name. I'm going to change also the font size. Let's make it 30. I'll change the color as well. Let's select web so we have more options here. Let's make it green. Okay. So now I've got everything in place based on my forms. Let's go to my project from the Solution Explorer. Let's click on Settings, and here I'm going to put the first settings is going to be user1 email, and I'm just going to put the email address for the user1 @gmail.com. I'm going to put here user1 password. I'm just going to put here 123 for the password, and user1 name. I'm just going to put here my name. So I'm going to copy this now, Control C to copy, Control V to paste. I'll change the 1 to 2. I'm going to Control C to copy this, Control V to paste. I'm going to change the user2 password. Control C to copy, Control V to paste, user2 name. And then I'm going to follow exactly the same process. Control C to copy, Control V to paste, user3 email. Control C to copy, Control V to paste, user3 password. Control C to copy, Control V to paste, user3 name. So I'm just gonna, let's copy this. I'm just gonna change user2. Obviously you're gonna change this to the people's email addresses. So I'm just gonna put user3. That is the password. So I messed it up a little bit. So let's cut that from here. Let's copy that and delete that from here. So let's go back here and set it on. Okay, so I've got the email, the name and the password. That's the second user. That's better, the email. Okay, for the name, I'm just gonna put Marquis. For the password, I'm gonna put 456. For the name, I'm gonna put Jack. And for the number, I'm gonna put 789. So I've got 3 different users, 3 different email addresses, 3 different names, 3 different passwords. So now I'm gonna go to my form 1. I'm gonna double click on the login page, and I'm gonna create the if statement here. So I will say if, in fact, we need to pass the values first. So I'm just gonna put here, let's remove that because we need to test it first. So I will say form 2 dot passed value equals txt username dot text form 2 dot show. Okay, so I've got this. Now if I go back to the form 2 and double click on form load, so form load here, just below, in fact, let's put here above the form load and just below the public class, we need to put public property passed value as string. So we pass them as a string. So here I'm going to say if passed value equals, I'm going to put the first username, so I will say user1 at gmail.com. If that's true, let's put then here. Okay, if that's true, I want the LBL email to be equals, let's put text.text to be equals to passed value, and the LBL name dot text to be equals to, and now I need to go now to my dot settings dot user and then user1 name. Then I will put here else if And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this. Control C to copy, Control V to paste. If the user is user 2, then we want to show the user 2 stuff. And then I'm going to put another else if statement. If the user is 3. And finally, I'm going to put else lblName.Text equals no user. Okay, or we can put unknown user. Unknown user. All right. So let's go to save this project. We have not made it secure yet. So as soon as we put the username here, we're going to be navigate to the next form. So let's go and run the application. So I'm just going to put here user1@gmail.com. If I click login now, I've got the user1 email address and the user1 name. That's correct. So if I change that to user2, I click login. Okay, I've got the email address, but it still remembers the passed value here. Let's have a look here. Let's change that to 2. This will help. Let's change this to 3. Otherwise, we're going to keep seeing the same user. So this user is for the third user. And this user is the second user. Let's try again. So user1@gmail.com. So we have Yanis. If we change that to user2, of my case, and we change that to user3, we have Jack. Okay, so we know now that our argument's working now fine. All right, so if we put unknown user, okay, the else statement kicks in. Okay, we're never going to use that because we're going to, in order for somebody to access the form 2, they have to put the correct login details. So let's go now to form 1 here. Let's skip a couple of lines here. In fact, let's go back to form 2. Let's add the logout button. So I'm just going to change the text value here to logout. And the name value, let's just going to change it to btnLogin.Click. I'm going to double click it, and I'm just going to put here Me.Hide, and that will say form1.show. Let's go now to the form 1, and now we're going to create an if statement. So we're going to say if txtUsername.Text is equals to my.settings.user1 email and txt password.text is equals to my.settings.user1 password. If that's true, then do this. Also, we want to say Me.Hide. Okay. So we're going to copy this if statement here. Control C to copy, Control V to paste. And here we're going to say else if, okay, txtUsername equals user2 here. Okay, then we're going to pass the values. We're going to copy this again and we're going to paste it here, and we're going to change that to 3. And then we're going to put an else statement, MessageBox.Show, and the message will be the login details you have added are incorrect. Please try again. Okay. So we're checking if the user exists, basically. The user 1 exists and the user 2 exists and the user 3 exists. Okay. Then we pass in the value. So we pass in the value of the username. Then we say this current the form 2 needs to open and the current form needs to hide. Okay, let's remove all these extra spaces here. Just tidy up a little bit. Okay, so now let's save this project. So if I click start, so if I type wherever here, the login details you have added are incorrect. Please try again. Let's stop that. Let's put capital T. Let's start again. And this time I'm going to put the correct username. So user1 at gmail.com and the password is 123. So the user1 exists. So Ioannis, log out. So the current form is closed. The login form opens. So I'm just going to change that to user2. The password is incorrect. So let's see the message box. The login details you have added are incorrect. So if I change that to 456, because I'm getting the details from the project settings. Okay, so the user2 is still okay. Let's close that. Let's stop the project. Is the cache. So let's type here user2 at gmail.com 456, and if I click login, yeah, I've got user2 and my keys. So let's log out. Let's use user3, and it's going to be 789. Still show my keys here. So if I stop the project, I need to clear the cache here basically. So let's put user3 at gmail.com. Now we'll say 789. Okay, Jack is there. So when I select logout, what I need to do, I need to make sure that the passed value equals to nothing. So let's go to form 2. So pass value equals to nothing. So I'm changing the value here. Let's try now again. So user1 at gmail.com 123, and if I change that to user2 456, okay, still doesn't clear the cache. Let's stop this. Okay, let's change that to pass value equals yeah, let's put string empty. Let's try this. So let's say user1 at gmail.com 123 login, and then log out. Let's change that to 2 456. Okay, still let's put here this let's stop this project. Oops. Let's change that from Me.Hide to Me.Close. So we still clear the past values, but we don't have to. I think we're now closing the application. Let's try both. So user1 at gmail.com, 1, 2, 3, and we log on. Let's log out. Let's use user2, 4, 5, 6, log in. Now we have the different name. Log out. User number 3, 7, 8, 9. We have the next person. Now, because we closed the application, it refreshes anyway. So if we comment this out, so for security reasons, you can always, it's a good practice to basically empty the strings anyway, but you don't have to. It should still work now because we closed the application. So if I say user1 at gmail.com, 1, 2, 3, login, and let's log out. Let's use user2, 4, 5, 6, and yes, it's working. User3, 7, 8, 9. Okay, still works fine. All right. So this is how you create a multiple user secure software application. In the next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to basically create a change password option. So the users can actually, once they have logged on, they can actually change the password. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.